Hello friends, Fujo here with some MTG Arena gameplay. I've been streaming a bunch of MTG content over at Twitch, and I wanted to share some of the games that I play as a way to help reduce the barrier of entry beyond what's already provided with the tutorial in MTG Arena. Now, I'm no expert and I make mistakes all the time, surprise, surprise. But at the very least, if these games aren't helpful or educational, at least maybe they can be a little entertaining and fun. So the first game that we're looking at is the Red-Green Dino deck. And what we do is we hold back some of our resources in order to play around a counterspell that we suspect our opponent is playing in order to develop our threats in order to finally try and win after that. The second game that we're playing is a blue-red deck. These are both the free-to-play decks, so everyone has access to these. And what we get to see in this gameplay is the raid mechanic, which is pretty cool and definitely not something that's included in the tutorial. So it's kind of interesting to take a look at how that works. And then also we use the return to hand mechanic in a slightly non-traditional way. So that's kind of also interesting. Something that I saw opponents use against me, which I thought was pretty cool. And I put it into use and had mixed results. So we'll kind of see how it works out in this game. Hope you enjoy the video. Let me know what you think about adding some MTG content to the channel. And feel free to check out the live streams over at Twitch. Hope you have a great day. Try our new merch giveaway. All right, we might have to look into that. This is looking like way too much mana, but honestly, I'm okay with that for now. Just because we have the early removal. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, speaking of uh-oh. That's a very scary card. So this health doesn't matter. The Ajani's welcome for the fact that it's health. It doesn't matter. Oh, blue-white. Scary. We can resolve that. Gaining a lot of health here, but I'm fine with it. I think we're going to summon the 4-2 right now. I think that's probably the best thing for us. Obviously, if our opponent's going to be doing buffs or anything like that, it's going to be a little scary because we can't counter that, but we shall survive. Oh my. Let's see what happens with this attack. Will they sack it and just take the block? Another green, another red. Next turn we can play an 8-5 depending what they do right now. No, we need to go ahead and hit that with a lightning bolt right now. And they didn't have a counter, it looks like, because otherwise they should have countered that, I imagine. What? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, 1 mana off. Feel great shame. No attack, just in case something happens. This is white after all. They can destroy tapped minions. I'm expecting this to get counterspelled. I expect that would have gotten counterspelled, but let's see. Alright. Our opponent's holding off, obviously. I'm expecting this. It has to be a counter at this point. Combat, attack. I'll attack. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, we'll end. We'll wait. I mean, they're gonna have to do something now. They can gain 2 health back. Exile, target non-land permanent. Okay, resolve that. They're gonna get rid of our 4-2. Resolve, that's fine. Attack phase, they have no attacks, and we want to draw another minion. We will tap 1. Hold on, I need to sneeze before we do some math. The sneeze didn't come. What a tease. Okay, let's figure out the math right now. This is 4 plus 7. 1, 2, 6. What? 4 plus 7 is 11. We have 8, 9, 10, so we can't actually do both. Let's just summon this one and see what happens. Counter target spell, resolve. And we're 1 damage off lethal right now, so we'll see what happens here. We expected that counter spell to go through. They literally can't have 2 counter spells. They only have 1 card. There we go. Okay, so that was actually kind of interesting there. I know that was a really short game, but I think that was actually very, very interesting. Because we basically expected the counterspell, we played around it, we just waited it out, and then we were able to win with it by waiting until we had 2 spells to guarantee the damage would get through. This we can keep. This we can keep because we can actually use all of these things. And we'll stay actually playing the game. There we go. We play a red. We play our little 1 red mana wizard. That I think will be really good. Ooh, going up against white something, perhaps? This is good. We have ability to return to hand. Oh, and now we have mana. Perfect. Let's go. We're going in here. We're going to go in and attack. There's no reason for us not to at this point. We are waiting for our opponent to decide what they want to do, and that's fine. That is more than fine. There we go. All attackers. Let's go. Take that damage. And we end our turn. Slightly interactive maps here on MTG, which is fun. Double white. They'll summon some lifelink. Oh, vampires. Here we go. All right. I like it. Let's get it going. 0/4 flyer. I like it a lot. I actually like that card a lot. It's one of the cards that really draws me to this deck, to be honest. As much as I understand that it might not be the most powerful, it might not be the most powerful card, really. I just happen to really, really like it. Your creatures gain +2/+2 until end of turn. You gain 2 life. Do we want to take that damage right now is the question. Yeah, sure, why not? And then the issue is, do we actually remove that right now? Next turn we can start drawing like crazy, right? No. Let's hold back. No, this is fine. This is fine because in case they do another silly buff like this, I'm comfortable with a disperse. I'm very comfortable with a disperse, actually. I'm very, very comfortable doing it this way. I really like the vampire deck, too. The black-white vampire deck is very fun. Oh, that is very scary, but it's good that we have an answer for it. We do have an answer for Resplendent Angel. Very powerful card, if it's able to get going. And we're going to have to remove it this coming turn, which is unfortunate, which means we do not get to draw. Block. No blockers. I can't risk it. I simply can't risk it. Well, I don't want to risk it. I would argue we need to get rid of that. Combat, attack, let's go. Okay, now it looks like we're kind of stemming the tide here. This is just a really big minion. It's able to spend 6 mana to buff, giving it +2/+2 lifelink, which means it does 5 damage. And it also has the card text, if you gain 5 damage, 5 health on a single turn, you create a 4/4 flyer. Which, as you can imagine, can begin to snowball very, very quickly. Resolve, that's fine. This is another thing that combos very well. You're getting 4 health here. Gaining another 2 health with your lifelink attack, so it has real potential. This angel card has a real potential to really snowball. Now the good thing is, no blockers. We can afford to take a little bit more damage. I'm not bothered. And we'll go on to our turn. Yeah, let's draw. And we'll go no attackers. I think we're going to have to start blocking now. simply for fear of our health actually dropping. If that's the case, well then, you know, we'll deal with it. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. That's a little scary. We can remove these things, though. So that's good. Do we need to block this as well? Yeah, we will right now. We'll do these blocks, because our opponent can't do any combat tricks right now. They're all out of health. Now, admittedly, we're going to take a bunch of damage, because this vampire is going to combo very well. Whenever they gain life, we lose life. So that's unfortunate. We can also just kicker this back to their hand, right? I think we're going to have to do it that way. So this is 2 mana. This is 3. So let's go 1, 2, and... oh, but then we don't get the kicker, though. Oh, this is actually 4. Never mind. What if we just resummon this, actually? And we'll just attack with this one. And then we will end. So I want to attack with a 3-2. Obviously, we can make this trade. Then if this gets buffed, we can just blink of an eye. So I think we're kind of setting ourselves up. The way that we did this turn here, I think we've actually set ourselves up reasonably. They have the 3-2, which obviously trades poorly. The only way they would attack here is if they actually have some sort of combat trick so that they could, like, buff this up in the middle of an attack to beat our 2-4. I'm not sure why they did that, to be perfectly honest. Draw 3 cards, then discard a card. We're going to need that. We're going to need to remove stuff. We're going to need mana. This is long-term mana. Maybe. Gutter Snipe is not helping right now. Like, this could be longer-term investment. I'm voting this one's out. Oh, this costs a blue, though. We can't afford that. This only deals 2 as a sorcery, so we can't do that either. Actually, maybe let's just go ahead for the investment now. Let's go a little bit wider here. No attackers, and then we will end. And we'll see what happens here. I think this is still putting ourselves into a very reasonable... Alright, gain 3... White. Oh, white 1/1s. I think... No blockers. I think no blockers. I think we just Banefire this down. Opponent's almost out of resources here. Uh-oh. They're tapping. Alright. This plus another 4. And then I think we'll kind of be good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I think we're okay. And then we go no attackers, and then we will end. Okay, so depending on what they have left in their hand now, what they're able to draw, I think we're actually going to be in somewhat of an okay situation here. That's a really scary card that we need an answer for right now. This is another card that snowballs out of control whenever it attacks. It summons 2 1/1 white creatures with lifelink that are also attacking. So we'll see if our opponent wants to do any attacks right now or not. What's the game plan? How do we win right now? Maybe we need the gutter snipe. Maybe we needed that gutter snipe out. I'm going to go ahead and put this back into our opponent's hand. All this does is stall the game for one turn. It's not necessarily an excellent play or anything. All this is allowing us to do is develop the gutter snipe onto a board. And then next turn we're going to have to blink of an eye. But what happens is gutter snipe every time we cast an instant or sorcery, which are our spells. Maybe we win this way. Let's go. So what's going to happen here is we're actually going to go into combat phase first. We're going to attack with this. We are going to not attack with that. So that's 5 damage. That's flying. So our opponent probably can't block this, to be honest. Which is good. We're then going to go ahead and develop the Enigma Drake. So that's another 5/4. That's going to be flying, but it can block this turn. Then we're also going to develop the Gutter Snipe. So as we continue to cast more and more of these spells... Okay, so what happened there? We played our first Enigma Drake. As we were going to play our next minion, our opponent played an instant murder, which destroys a target creature, which was in fact our Enigma Drake. Because I didn't want that to resolve, because I feel like that's basically how we lose, I returned it to our own hand so that we can now play it again this turn. The scary thing is no attackers. So now we're basically stuck waiting for them to attack. And we have to hope that they don't have any sort of excellent removal, like another murder, and then we basically lose. So we'll see. Because if they attack with this, we obviously get the easy trade, and then we trade away the rest of the 1/1s. But we'll see what this last card is. So if they kind of want to bluff right now, they can attack with this card still in hand to show us, or at least try and fake us out, that it might be some sort of combat trick that would beat us. The other issue is the fact that we still will be taking a little bit of damage because we have 1 trade, 2, 3, 4. But then we need to... Oh, that's really powerful. That's really powerful. Okay. Okay, so now we have to do our blocking. So we are going to go ahead and block this one. We're going to block this one. We're going to get rid of this one. And now the question is, do we just get rid of one of these vampires now? And I think the answer is honestly, yeah. So we're taking 1 and then 3 damage, but the rest of the board is going to be cleared. There is the option, the only real option I see is us taking the value trade and getting rid of the 1/1s. But I think less vampires with lifelink, the better, and it's also less damage for us. That's the worst draw we could have had. We're going to draw some cards with this minion right now. Repeating Barrage deals 3 damage to any target. We are going to go ahead and deal 3 damage to this target. And then, will we attack with this or not? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no, honestly, because we're never blocking with this, because this needs to... Oh, that's terrifying. Okay. So this is a 2 mana 2/2. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. Oh my goodness, that's so good. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think we have enough. So, what's going to happen here is we're going to attack with this minion. We're then going to, because we're attacking, we're going to be able to do something that's called raiding, which summons this card back to our hand. We're then able to attack, and because we have enough mana at this late stage of the game, we're able to then cast Repeating Barrage to then attack this minion that would otherwise effectively just steamroll all over us. So we're dealing damage a little bit. The face damage is very non-important right now. It's much more important to be able to have this every single turn because we have this flyer that can attack effectively unimpeded. And we should have... no, we need to keep this untapped, actually. There is a debate that we could have had if we want to use our mana. And then we could have probably summoned this on the same turn. But I feel like having this untapped is okay. And I think we're kind of starting to really stabilize. They could attack with both minions and get 1 face damage in, but... it looks like they will. We're going to get rid of the vampire. This is just a cat. So it's fine. Return target instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. That's going to be very powerful for us. So I think we're going to need to do that first. And then the question is, what exactly do we want to return to our hand? We could take some draw edge. We obviously... oh, we don't have any really cheap, easy removal. Banefire is kind of the nice one. Because honestly, we can just hang on to it. We could also take this, because we definitely have the mana for it. So this is a 3 mana spell. But we can kick it up to 7. So actually, that's 3 plus... that's actually 6, then plus 3, which is 9. And do we have that? We have 4... what is this? 6. 4 plus 6 is going to be 10, so we do actually have the mana for that. We can go ahead and take that, and then I think we'll just develop this. I think we can go ahead and attack fairly, I should say, comfortably. And then we'll end our turn. So we are slowly whittling down our opponent's health, and we do just have really, really hard removal. Basically for anything that they play right now, we can remove. If we spend the full mana, which we've just discussed the fact that we do have the mana for it. And at this point, it looks like this is basically we've locked up what should be a win, which is kind of nice. Draw 3 cards. I think we can afford to do that. And we're not going to tap this because we still want to have extra blockers just in case something silly happens. We need to discard one. I think we can discard the blue. That's fine. Let's go ahead and just deal 2 damage here. We can have more buffs, which is nice. And then we will go into combat. We will attack with both of our flyers, holding everyone back. And we will bring Repeating Barrage back to our hand, because we've already discussed this raid mechanic. And I think, yeah, our opponent goes ahead and concedes, because I think they've realized that we basically have this game locked up. So this is definitely one of my favorite new player experience decks. And I think we actually got to see some pretty cool stuff in terms of budgeting our resources in that game.